Well, hello, my YouTube family. Friday, TGIF. That's all I can say. I'm so tired. I'm tired from the week, not really so much from the day. Just, it's been a draining week, not to mention an unhappy one. So, I'm really glad that this week is over. Like, really glad. Oh, and right before I left work, a coworker informed me that he got a call from the job interview that he went to earlier this week, and another one will be biting the dust as of next Thursday. Did you really think it was going to stop just because the bad guys left the company and these so-called good guys were going to, give us daisies and roses? It's the same thing happening, just different faces. So, of course, people are going to be jumping ship. And, oh, by the way, he happens to be the one that calls me Senorita. Yeah, he's going. Although he was nice. Don't get it twisted. It's not like I hated him or anything. But he seemed to always want to talk to me at the most inopportune times. Like, I'm not in the mood to talk to you right now, or I'm busy, I'm doing other stuff right now. And here he comes. He always seemed to pick the wrong time to come and talk to me. So it's annoying. It gets a little annoying. But in a way, I'm going to be kind of sad to see him go because he was the only one that I could talk to about the show Tyrant, which is starting up this summer. He's the one that introduced me to the show. So, we would talk about it like all summer long while it was running on. But now that he's leaving, oh well. So that's just that with that upon that. I wish him well. He's basically going to be doing the same thing, but at a different place. So, and for more money, of course. He'd been with the company for like 10 years or something. So, yeah, it was time for him to go. He said they really never offered me any kind of promotion, he got raises and bonuses, but he never got promoted to like another position. So he's like, that's not going to happen. So he's out as of next Thursday. And yeah. Oh, well. So did I write anything down to discuss? No, I did not write anything down to discuss. I must say that I'm wearing this now. This is kind of potent, I have to say. It's not a bad scent at all. I kind of like it. But yeah, you need to go easy. So needless to say, I still have the sample. Sample is rather full. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of be going a little easy on this one. So that just takes care of that. Now, as you can see, I don't know, it doesn't look purple on the screen, but this is a purple. It looks kind of like a magenta. But don't even bother looking for it. Don't try to look for it. Maybe if you're lucky, eBay, but I highly doubt it. It's an old lip gloss. And I know I should be tossing away my old lip gloss, but there are just some that last like a year and a day. They don't turn. They don't get a funky scent. And this is one of them. Still smells fresh. Like I just bought it. It smells like lip gloss. It's a Sally Hansen. Potted lip gloss. And I think I had showed you this one before. What is he doing? He's sneezing. He just sneezed. Okay. Potted gloss. And even though the sticker is gone, the name of the lip gloss, I always remembered it as Mega. That was the name of it. And this is what it looks like. It is a purple, but it's an iridescent kind of a purple with a touch of like a magenta in it. It's a really great shade. Let me do a swatch for you. Very, very thick. Always was. This is it. Shiny as all hell. And that is Mega. I even think if you Google it, I don't think you'll find it. That's yeah, that's kind of how old it is. Before the internet. So that is it. I really have to wipe it off. So, you know, this is my like kind of purple tribute to the Purple Prince. And people were just getting on my nerves. They were getting on my nerves today with the whole Prince situation. Conspiracy theorists. Oh, I heard. I'm watching CNN, and they had a news conference with the sheriff of the city of the sheriff of Minnesota, I guess, of Minneapolis. And, you know, they're doing the investigating and all of this. And yes, it is coming out that it might have been a drug overdose. So immediately, excuse me, sorry, I'm shaking everybody up. Immediately, everybody goes, well, he's a drug addict and this, and that. Here go my coworkers who know nothing for nothing. Now, by the way, I am watching CNN. I turned it back on CNN, who were really kind of focused on, you know, the death of Prince. They were giving music videos of his, and they were talking about the investigation and what it entails and what might have come up and this, that, and the other. And so is TMZ on Facebook. So here goes some of my coworkers. First, one coworker of mine, she was like, they're talking about him being on drugs, and I refuse to believe it. I'm just not going to believe it. I'm like, I said, well, what are you hearing? This was like before the CNN. I said, what are you hearing? Because I'm really trying to keep a close tab of what's going on, and I'm keeping it on CNN because, you know, they're investigating it, and every so often they'll update it. Well, the last hour and a half of CNN, they were totally like focused on it, but this was earlier on. She said people are calling him a drug addict and this, and that, and I said, okay, what is your definition of a drug addict? She said, well, you know, a person that does drugs all the time. I said, okay, so if for some reason he was on a particular drug and he became addicted to it, what would you call him? Oh, no, he can't be a drug addict. I said, yes, that's the definition of a drug addict. That's not to say that he was a drug addict that was, you know, injecting, snorting, sniffing, all of that. No, that's what everybody automatically assumes when you hear the term drug addict. I had to stop for a second because I just realized I'm not done with my lips yet. I'm sorry, people. I had to go into that for a minute because this is what has been bothering me all damn day. Okay, so this is Mega. And the lip liner. That's all I have to tell you. I do have a lip liner on. Hold on. Where is it? And it's not Purple Rain. It is deep purple. Trust me, I tried to match Purple Rain with it, but it's too light. Deep purple is the liner that I'm wearing. Okay, so now that we've got that out the way, let me continue on with my story. So here she comes. Well, you can't call him a drug addict. I said, yes, I can. If he was addicted to a particular drug, just one drug, that's all you need to be a drug addict on, one drug. If he happened to be addicted to that one drug, he was a drug addict. Not a drug addict, a full-blown drug addict who's like you said, sniffing, injecting, you know, all of that. No. He was addicted to a particular drug. As it turns out, which I myself did not know, and I had to tell her because apparently she didn't know. I said, did you know that Prince had broken his hip in 2010? She said, oh, for real? I said, yeah. I just knew this. I just found this out myself. I'm paying attention. I'm reading. I'm listening to what's going on before I jump off the bridge like everybody else seems to. And she was like, really like, girl? And I'm like, yeah. I'm kind of trying to keep calm because everybody is automatically assuming that, oh, he's on this and oh, he's on that. And yeah, he was a drug addict. No. He broke his hip in 2010. Now, when you break your hip, in order to release the pain, you have to be put on something, right? What is that something? It is called a drug, okay? It is called a drug. And if by sheer coincidence, the drug that they put him on was an addictive drug, like Percocet, then he might have become addicted to that drug. Because you have to understand, he was 5'1", a short sprite of a man who probably weighed no more than 100 pounds, if that. So you have a small framed man, small boned. He's wearing heels on stage, jumping from those big, oversized speakers, jumping on the stage in the high heels, night after night after night. He's doing splits. He's twirling all over the stage. And he ain't a youngin'. Now, 2010, I'm not good at math, people. He might have been, he was 57 when he died. 2010, do the math. So 16 years from 57. Okay. So he was still, he wasn't a teenager anymore. So he was climbing up there. And he broke his hip. Now, people just assume that it's only old people that break their hip. No, you can break your hip at any age. But this is a man that was a full-blown entertainer. Night after night after night, jumping on speakers, jumping on the stage. He's wearing high heels. It is going to take a toll on anybody's body. I don't care whether he was a vegan, whether he was not a vegan. That has nothing to do with the fact that he is punishing his body. Okay? He's doing it night after night after night because he's an entertainer. That's why people loved him so much. But when you break your hip, and you still have to go out on the stage and perform, the only way you're going to do that is if you are hopped up on something that is going to prevent you from being in pain in the amount of time that you have to be on the stage. And maybe, who knows? We don't know that, when you're at a concert, they run off the stage, maybe to change their guitar or whatever. Maybe he ran off the stage to get a dose to keep him going to finish off the show. Ergo, night after night after night, popping maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 pills a night, what is going to eventually happen? You are going to become addicted. The milligrams that the doctor initially gave you, now you popping them so much that now your immune system gets immune to it. So now you need something stronger. Ergo, you become a drug addict. It's not a pleasant term, and you're putting Prince, who was a vegan, who was all about his body, and then you're putting drug addict next to Prince, and it doesn't make sense. It really shouldn't make sense. But at the same time, he's a human being. This is what other people seem to fail to remember. That he was human. I mean, people were talking about conspiracy theorists and, maybe he was murdered and this. I wrote all of this on my Facebook page. I mean, it's like, for real. Like, seriously? You gonna go down that road? That's the road you choose to go to. Because you can't come to terms with the fact that it was a human being, as multi-talented as he was. He was still human. He went to the bathroom just like everybody else. He took a piss. He shit just like everybody else. He was human. If you cut him, he bled. He was human. And humans have faults. And maybe through no fault of his own, he became addicted to a drug that relieved the pain for him. That's all you have to do. And the puzzle pieces are still scattered because it's going to take a couple of weeks before the autopsy results come back in the clear to really let us know exactly what it was that killed him. But as far as we know, TMZ reported it, and so did the sheriff of Minnesota. I think that's who it was that was holding the press conference. stated that from what they can gather, the information that they have so far, it's looking like drugs may have been involved. Not drugs as in a number of drugs, but maybe the amount of the one drug that he took. And so far, what they found was Percocet. Now people need to stop jumping off of ledges or standing on ledges and like throwing themselves off because, oh, Jesus, Lord, they're calling Prince a drug addict and this and that. And I'm trying to have a conversation with my coworker. And after I told it to her in that way, she kind of got off the ledge and she said, oh, okay, that makes sense. I said, yes. And the story isn't even finished yet. But this is what I myself am putting together from what I'm hearing and from what I'm reading. And I'm putting the story together. You know, I could be way off base, but from what they're saying, it's making sense. Plus the fact I didn't know about him breaking a hip, but now it does make even more sense. Because a broken hip, even though you can mend a broken hip. It's like if you break china, you can glue the china back. You can still use the china, but you're still going to have the crack, and it's not going to be the same. A broken hip put back together is not really going to be the same. Even if you remove the hip and put a new hip, it's still not going to be the same. So maybe, like today, right now, it's raining. Maybe he would have been in pain in the rain. Arthritis sets in, and he died at the age of 57. As good looking as he was, because black don't crack, people forget that. Plus, he always wore a ton of makeup. But still, he was 57 years old. And he may not have been moving and jumping as much as he was in his younger years, but he was still an entertainer. Being on the stage, you have to be on all the time. Maybe there were times he didn't want to be on the stage, but he had to be because that's what his job entailed. And it entailed him being on all the time. And sometimes your body's like, you know what? I'm really not going to cooperate with you right now. So I'm going to give you a little bit of pain. I'm going to pinch you here and there until you say back to your body, oh, for real? That's how you're going to act? Pop some pills. That'll do you. And you'll be just fine. And then off he goes on the stage and he can do his job. Maybe he was addicted to the Percocet. Does it make him a full-blown drug addict? Not really a full-blown drug addict. But if you are addicted to a drug, what is that called? A drug addict. Not a pleasant term by any stretch of the imagination. So after I spoke to that coworker, here comes another one. And this time it was when the press conference was going on. And here he go. Well, I heard that he was a drug addict. It's pure and simple. And it makes a lot of sense because it just makes sense because it's just sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And that's what he was into. I said, for real? So him being a vegan and a Jehovah's Witness, does it really make sense that he's a drug addict? Oh, he was all that. Well, that's what I heard. I said, where are you hearing all of this stuff? Oh, some people tell me. I said, well, where are they hearing it from? Oh, well, I don't know, Nancy, but that's what I heard. I said, so you're just going to go by from truth, just like that. And I was getting upset, and he saw that I was getting upset. He's like, well, that's just what I heard. That's all, you don't have to get up. I said, you know what? It's pointless. Pointless. So then I went on to the story about the whole broken hip thing. And he goes, oh, I didn't know that. I said, yeah. In 2010, he broke his hip. And in order to relieve the pain, they gave him Percocet. Oh, well, now that makes sense. But you are so dead on with that's what you heard that, that's truth. That's the gospel because you heard it. The fact that people just jump into any kind of, they need to fill in the blank. So they're going to fill it in with anything. Whether it makes sense or not. Whether it makes sense or not. I can't. Here's another thing. The woman that trained me at about 4 o'clock, she hands me a pile of sheets. And I have to coordinate the number pile with this pile. So she said, I started to do 2 of them for you to show you how to go about it. I said, okay. And she said, they should be in numerical order. She said, these are the sheets that you just put in numerical order for me. That was what are they? The vouchers, the voucher sheets. The voucher sheets have to coordinate with the other paperwork that have the same numbers. So the vouchers have a number. I have to match it with the other. Okay. So she's trying to be all cute, like I'm stupid. And she said, well, this is the pile that you just put in numerical order for me. And I just did a couple. And they should be in the same order as what you put in. I said, oh, okay, fine. So she's starting to do the third one for me because obviously I'm too dense to understand. She said, let me show you how it's done. And one number was like, I'm just going to make it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the first sheet. And the next sheet would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. So she picks up the first one. And I know I did the vouchers. I know they are in numerical order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the voucher number. And she picks up a sheet 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. And she goes, and they go together. I said, no, they don't. She said, well, of course they do. I said, no, you're putting 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, 3, 5 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, she goes, oh, well, you must have done the vouchers wrong. I said, no, because if you keep following the numbers of the vouchers, those are in numerical order. The pile that you put together is not. Oh, well, let me see. Let me see. I just sat back. And then she finally found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it was in the middle of the pile that she had just given me. Her pile. Oh, well, there it is. She goes, you definitely did the vouchers wrong. I said, no, I didn't. Because the one right after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But let's see if the one after the one that you just moved is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which it was not. It was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was the next one. Totally outnumbered. Just the numbers all. And then she got fed up and she's like, oh, well, you know what to do. You just put them together. I said, oh, okay. You're going to try to accuse me because you effed up on your pile. My pile is in numerical order. And you're going to tell me, oh, I did the vouchers wrong? This had happened at around 4 o'clock. By this time, it's almost time for me to go. So you know what? I did what I had to do. I put everything in numerical order. I even fixed the order in which her pile was wrong. I put them in numerical order. And I put everything aside. She was supposed to come and pick them up before 5:30. Needless to say, she must have either been embarrassed or what have you. I left. The completed work is right on my desk on the corner where she can come and pick them up herself. And before she gives me the work, of course, there's prints and music and all of this, and the press conference. And she is such a know-it-all. She thinks she knows everything. Well, Prince was smaller than me. So, maybe he was a frail person. He definitely had to be frail. Maybe that's why he fell in the elevator. Like she was making up all sorts of shit. And I said, really? She goes, well, he was smaller than me. And, at one point when I was pregnant with my son, I was like the story it's no longer about Prince now. It's about her. She tends to do that. Anything related to any other thing, she will eventually veer the story back to her. And when she was, very young and she was pregnant with her son, she was a lot, she was barely 100 pounds and she was anemic and this, and that. And I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, it's not really all skinny people that are anemic. I'm anemic and I'm far from being skinny. Oh, well, this was when I was pregnant. And I said, okay. I don't know what you being pregnant has anything to do with Prince, but because I know he can't get pregnant. So why are you turning the story to you? It's Friday, people. It's Friday. It is Friday. Do you understand what I'm saying? My girl Beth. Yeah, Beth, I'm talking to you. Beth is a YouTube family member, as well as my family member on Facebook. She knows. You know the situation. We were, contacting each other on Facebook. Like I would post and then she would comment and I would say, yeah, you're right. And it's Friday. And this is what, when all of this nonsense starts, I call it the crazy train. Because people need to make sense of it, of why he died. Well, he's human. It's a shocker. Of course it's a shocker. But, they're trying to investigate to put the story together. But conspiracy theorists come out with stupid crap. And all of a sudden, oh, it's what I heard. And then you go and believe that. You know what, people? What is Tom's? This is what I found under the desk. You know who this belongs to, right? He's going to the bathroom right now. I just can't, people. Like, why can't people just wait until the toxicology report comes back in 2 weeks? And then we will know for certain exactly what it was that killed the man. Okay? I mean, yes, Percocet, I'm sure, had a lot to do with it. And there might have been a good, what's the word I'm looking for? A good, not reason, but there might have been some form of Percocet in his system, whether it was the milligrams that he was initially scripted to take, or maybe a higher dose, or maybe, he took a Percocet on top of something else that they didn't go together, and he died. The man died. Can we just like step back from the conspiracy nonsense, garbage, and just kind of wait? I'm trying to just put the stories together for myself. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not going to think that, maybe he secretly was murdered and all it. I'm going to wait the 2 weeks, and then eventually they will tell us exactly what happened. But in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, okay, broken hip, that's pretty damn painful. And in order to relieve the pain, even though he was a vegan and he was very health conscious, you can be health conscious and still need something for pain. Okay? So maybe that's what it was. We don't know. But it makes sense to me in my mind. And it sounds rational. We'll know in 2 weeks. So that's just it with that, people. I mean, I miss him like everybody else. But can we stop? Can we just stop? And kind of like, if somebody's telling you something, even if it's me, even if I'm telling you something and it sort of kind of makes sense, but maybe to you it doesn't, Just wait until the toxicology report comes back. We all have to do that. So we're just going to wait until the toxicology report comes back. It may have absolutely nothing with him being murdered and all of this madness. Okay. It's just so damn frustrating sometimes. Because sometimes I really think that I work with stupid people. Who think that who not even think, who want to show or brag to me, for some reason, I don't know why, that they are smarter and wiser and all of this. But then I'm really listening to what you're saying, or I'm watching what you're doing. And it doesn't look like you all that smart to me. And I'm listening to what you're saying, and what I'm hearing doesn't sound all that intelligent to me. But if you want to go along with it, you go right ahead. You live your life the way you want to, okay? In denial, in conspiracies, whatever. Got nothing to do with it. My life is my life. Your life is yours, okay? In the end, in a couple of weeks, we will all know exactly what happened. It's Friday. It's Friday. I've got to take this off my head. And I've got to go. I've got to go. I've just got to go now. It's Friday. I want to enjoy my weekend starting now. You understand what I'm saying? Right this very second. It's 31 and I've got to go. I love you. I love my YouTube family. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. I know it's supposed to be purple, but I know it's not really coming across as purple. It's coming across as some kind of a magenta. Yeah. But it really is supposed to be purple. Let me know what you think. Don't bother looking for it. Like I said, it's an oldie. Oldie. That's what really why. I mean, I have it up front on with my lip glosses. That's why I really don't wear it that much, because I don't want to keep showing you and showing you and showing you something that you can't buy. But you can understand why I'm wearing it today. And if you want to try to find it, Sally Hansen, I think it was called Sally Hansen Pot Gloss, and the color, the name of the color is Mega, M-E-G-A. And that's just that with that upon that. I love you. I love my YouTube family. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. And let me even know what you think about the whole conspiracy and not conspiracy and drug addict and, you know, all of that. Let me know what you think about all of that. Okay? Have an awesome weekend. I want everybody to have a terrific weekend. And I've got another story to tell you, but I'm going to write it down, because this video will really go on if I go into this story. But I'm going to write it down, and on Monday I will definitely tell you about the summer hours that we are now going to have starting June 3rd. I'll tell you about it on Monday, okay? And how I fit into it, if I fit into it. I'll let you know on Monday. So tune in, okay? I'm leaving you hanging. Did anybody see Scandal last night? Nate. Okay, that's all I have to say. It's too much to talk about. It's too much to talk about. I will talk to you on Monday, okay? Have an awesome weekend. I love you all, and stay safe. And I'll talk to you on Monday. Mwah. Bye now.